Welcome into the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and leave a 5-star review. Hey, I'm with Johnny.
The hottest of the hot here at PHNX Bets Daily. I'm talking about myself because my NBA picks have been fire as of late. I was due for a bit of an upswing, Shano, and going 3 for 4 after a 3 for 3 day on Thursday. I mean, just you think it's the sport I cover primarily because I'm so flipping hot right now.
Right now is the key word there. Due for an upswing is also the key phrase there. But yeah, we'll give you your flowers when they're due, Johnny. But let's talk about the Suns before we get into everything else.
That's fine. That's fine.
Last night, game one, a little strange. I think everybody kind of expected them to make a statement with their offense, and their defense kind of took the spotlight a little bit. And that first half, it was a record-setting first half. It was like the fifth least amount of points anybody's ever scored in a playoff game in the first half?
Yeah.
Or first quarter, something like that. Just ridiculous. The team defense for the Suns is what I've been saying these last 2 weeks. After watching the playing games, I wasn't worried about anybody in the first round. I'm not really worried about anybody until the Western Conference Finals. I think the Suns have a real shot of winning 8 of 9 in the first 9 games and making it to the Western Conference Finals in those 9 games and get some nice rest. People complaining last night a little bit about Chris Paul having to save the Suns. That is what he's here for. He didn't play 40 minutes. He only played 35. That is very normal for a star player in the playoffs. And I don't think he's going to run out of gas because he's on that vegan diet, Mr. Johnny.
Yeah, I'm looking to get on that myself. I've been eating a lot of Polish sausage as of late. But no, in all seriousness, they made the Pelicans look like a Big Ten offense in the first quarter. And I see a lot of people saying, well, that they came storming back. It was too competitive in the fourth quarter. Well, number one, this is the playoffs. Teams are here for a reason. We just saw what the Pelicans did in 2 playing games. Number two is it's the NBA. Everybody makes a run. These games aren't supposed to be lopsided. And also, how do you sustain that level of intensity when you're up by 20, 25 points? You can't. It's just you're due for a downturn. They were rotating some backups in the third quarter, and they made a little bit of a run. Had the Suns kept their foot on the gas throughout 4 quarters, it would have been a much larger outcome. But it's good for the Suns to play relatively close games because they haven't had a competitive game like this. We talked about it on Friday's show. Shane, it was the return of Suns competitive games for the first time in 2 months. The only thing they've been playing for as of late were regular season awards, accolades, records. They haven't had a meaningful game since the Warriors opted to really sit a lot of players. Fighting for that 1 seed was not difficult for the Suns. And so as a result, I expected this game to be much closer through quarters 1 to 4, given the fact that the Suns maybe were a little bit out of sync. That was not the case at all. I would feel really good if I was a Suns fan today, just based on that intensity, because they're going to sustain that, like you mentioned, when they play the Warriors, we presume, in the Western Conference Finals, when they maybe rematch against the Bucks. Like, they'll be able to match and sustain that for 4 quarters. It's the Pelicans. What do you want them to do?
Yeah, it's strange we're in a weird spot as Suns fans. At least I feel like we are. Going from last year, getting ready for the playoffs was like, holy shit, here it is. Like, they're in the playoffs. They're ready to make this run. This team is special.
This is a real team. Yeah.
And this year, it's like, we know this team is special. Let's just get out of the first round and keep going. And you kind of take it for granted almost. And it was a Sunday. It felt a little weird starting the playoffs on a Sunday. But I think come game 2, game 3, and hopefully a sweep in game 4, it will really feel like that the Suns are doing something special again, because right now it just feels like we're going through the motions a little bit because of how
it does
damn good this team is. But it's a good problem to have. And as Suns fans, I'm excited to not only watch, but also bet on them. And there were some good opportunities last night. I don't know if you can bet on this. I don't know how you can profit off of this, but Jay Crowder was the first player in NBA history to have a quadruple single. He had 1 point, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 1 block in the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
No one's ever done that before.
Wow. I'm sure you can maybe get a specialty bet like that here in the DraftKings Sportsbook app moving forward, but I'd be surprised if that was available prior to last night.
I think maybe you can somehow tease down his points, rebounds, assists, and blocks to under 1.5 all, and then maybe you would make some good coin. You probably would. But yeah, it was fun nonetheless. And you know what else was fun, Johnny? The good weekend that we had. So why don't we pull up our picks from over the weekend. We'll start with Johnny first.
Yeah, you absolutely love to see it. Listen, I thought the Nets were going to win. I might have even said take the money line. They did not. They lost on a last-second shot, but it just shows you how close I believe this series is going to be. Nets +4. That was as easy as a layup, no pun intended, as possible. And then the Bucks. The Bucks were up by 10 for large stretches of the game against Chicago and let the Bulls hang around. That game was not as competitive as the final score indicated. I think the Bucks ended up winning by maybe 7 or 8.
7.
Yeah, and the Bucks have beaten. I feel like the Bulls has been like 14 straight games.
Yeah.
So I think as you see the series start to continue, even when they go back to Chicago, I think these margins of victory for Milwaukee will get bigger and bigger. That might be the smallest margin of victory we see in this series.
That game was so gross. There were 34 points combined.
I had to turn it off.
Yeah, 15 points by the Bulls, 19 by the Bucks in that fourth quarter. It was just disgusting. We'll get to my picks. I took the Bucks, but I took them in the first half and they covered. I think they won that first half by 8. Also Sixers, easy cover, and the Jazz, a little bit of a sweat, but they did end up covering.
Good for
I took them in the first half as well. I didn't put it on the show, but that was pretty stinky. Jordan Clarkson couldn't find the bucket in the first half. That series is going to be strange. Both of these teams really relying on their three-point shooting to get hot and their defense to keep them in games. The Jazz obviously are more effective on the defensive end. Obviously, no Luka. It's a bit of a different matchup. But when you're relying on Dorian Finney-Smith and Reggie Bullock to shoot threes,
it's a bad way to be.
Brunson to get to distribute, it's not great.
No, they're not built to win without him. I think we're going to see a quick series here. It's unfortunate because you build all year up to this point. And I think a lot of people thought that the Mavericks were kind of a sneaky team to make a conference finals run. That's not going to happen now. They're done.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll get into our props then from last weekend as well. I had a nice time with Pascal Siakam over 23.5 points. I think he finished with exactly 24. That got sweaty. And Clint Capella was 12.5. I remember I mistyped this on the show because I had them switched. He had 7, I think, at the halfway through the second quarter, and then he got hurt. I don't know if there's any updates on him. I'm pretty sure there have been, but I haven't seen any. But yeah, that's not very good. So that hurt. But 4 for 5, we'll take it all day, every day. We're in playoff mode, Johnny.
We are. I had one prop, didn't go well. It was my DraftKings pick of the week. Andre Drummond over under 9.5 points. Listen, he'd been crushing it, and he had 8 points, but he was 3 for 4 from the field. Let the man shoot a little bit more. That was disappointing.
No, don't let him shoot a little bit more. He's Andre Drummond.
No, he had 3 of you. He was shooting great. Let him shoot a little bit more. That game, we know it was all about 2 players, and it wasn't including Andre Drummond. He wasn't included in the fun. So it wasn't to his own fault that he didn't get that. His teammates, selfish Kyrie, selfish Kevin Durant. I know better. So that didn't work out. But yeah, our straight up picks have been hot money fire as of late. And you should rely on this moving forward if you haven't already, and double down via the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
Yeah, Clint Capella will be reevaluated in a week. His MRI came back clean. So that's good news. But I don't think it will do much for them in that Heat series as the Heat look dominant. But if you want to take advantage of some of our hotness going on right now, or just you see something that you like, you can get it live or whenever you want on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, because it's safe, secure, reliable, and fast. And most of all, it's really, really damn fun. Johnny, have you done anything crazy lately on the DraftKings Sportsbook app? Any Jason Tatum parlays?
No, I've done a bunch of first field goals that I'd rather not talk about because they haven't hit yet. If they hit, you best believe I will screenshot it and put it on Twitter. But no, I'm trying to be Espo with that, and I don't have a good feel for it. I have a better feeling for first touchdowns than I do first field goals. And if you saw my first touchdown conversion rate in the fall, you'll know it didn't go well either. So I'd rather not speak on how much money I've lost.
Well, I'm sad there's no Hornets games, so I can profit off of my guy. Oh my God, this is how dark horse it was. I can't even remember his name. Caleb, Nevada guy. Come on, anybody know? No. Sure, the brothers, Caleb and Sean even forgets. Whatever. New customers can bet just $5 on any team in the playoffs. Get $150 in free bets instantly. So even if you do bet on the Hawks and they get blown up by the Heat, you still get your money. You win no matter what when you use that promo code PHNX this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. It's safe, it's secure, it's reliable. And Sean has the guy I'm looking for.
Caleb Martin.
Caleb and Cody Martin. So there's no Martin twins that I can bet on. I think the other one's on the Heat. I can bet on him, but he's not going to make a first field goal because he doesn't play. But anyway, plus each day, if you're already a new customer, you can get a risk-free bet up to $10 if your same game parlay doesn't hit. So if you want to go crazy, you can do so and get some of that coin back. But bet on the Suns, baby. What do you like most about player props for the Suns, Johnny?
I think that Devin Booker is ascending into what we believe is a top 3 to 5 player in the NBA. I would take the over, especially what you just mentioned it. Like Chris Paul is hanging around to save the Suns, quote unquote, save the Suns. But
Yeah,
he's
right.
got minute restrictions. Like for them to win the NBA title, and this is not a hot take, like Devin Booker has to be the best player on the team for 4 quarters throughout the course of the postseason. So every time I see his player point total hovering around like 26 points, I take the over on that because I just feel like, sure, you're going to get some off games, but I love you just chucking up threes in the first half at will. Anytime he's wide open, fall away threes. It's cliche to say at this point, but he's becoming a soft Kobe Bryant out there, and you absolutely love to see it happen. So, Ayton to me is 2 hit or miss, dominant one game, and then
I not in the playoffs, man. There's a look in his eyes. It's different. It's different. DA. I like his points more than anything in this series. I want to stay away from his rebounds because Jonas Valanciunas loves to push people around in the back. That should be a foul, but they don't call anything because they're too big. Yeah. But download it today. Use that promo code PHNX when you sign up at just $5 on any NBA team to win their game in the playoffs. Get $150 in free bets instantly, no matter what. That's promo code PHNX this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details. Let's get into our picks. Johnny, what do you like today?
I'm going to go with 2 out of 3 favorites. Love the Jazz. We just talked about it. The main man being out of that series, they're done. They're toast. Sorry to our DNVR peeps. You lose your best player, one of the best players in the NBA. You're not going to be competitive in a series against your very evenly matched against the Jazz. Again, coin flip series. Teams were only separated by 2 or 3 wins on the season, but I think Jazz roll, and I think they close out the series in Utah after tonight. And then, did you know the Warriors haven't lost in April? They are a freight train from hell. They are destined to meet the Suns in the Western Conference Finals. Steph Curry and company are incredibly playoff tested. That's battle tested. That's the understatement of the century. And then I always feel like we get to this point in the season, the Nuggets are big time frauds. Anyway, swallow the 7. They're not winning tonight in San Francisco. I think they roll. And then the Raptors got destroyed by the 76ers. You talk about a non-competitive game. That team, championship mentality, battle tested. I do think they make tonight's game competitive. I don't think they win. But James Harden teams in the postseason are way too inconsistent. They do not put forth back-to-back efforts like that. I think we see probably a 1 to 2 possession win at max by the 76ers tonight. I do not think they roll that big. Big emotional game, big emotional letdown coming up for the 76ers.
Yeah, you made some great points, Johnny, but you missed the biggest point. Today is National Velociraptor Awareness Day. Give me the Raptors plus 7.5.
Oh, handsome.
Freaking day. Can anybody do a Velociraptor noise? It is like, oh. You know what I'm talking about?
I thought it was more of a screech.
No, because in Jurassic Park, they call out to each other and they're like,
If they have tempo, there's different tempos.
Yeah. I want one of those. Well, they do have the screech thing, the vocal cord box that they blow into, but they also call out whatever. Well, if somebody in the chat wants to phonetically pronounce how to sound like a Velociraptor, you can do so. But I'm taking them plus 7.5. We already talked about it. Velociraptor Awareness Day. That's pretty much the only reason why, because this game's kind of a coin flip when it comes to the spread. Jazz, first half. I took it last week. Didn't hit for me, but now I'm giving it to the people. Give me Jazz first half minus 2.5. I think they come out swinging today. I think that they're going to, be like, look, this is our chance to take this 2-0 series lead at home on the road. Are they on the road? Who's the 4 seed and who's the 5 seed? I always forget. But there's
Jazz are on the road.
Yeah. So 2-0 series lead. Give me that minus 2.5. And then I think the Nuggets cover this game. It's weird. Adrian Wojnarowski reported today that
who?
Woj. He reported today that Jamal Murray, all of the cards are in his hands when it comes to playing. He's been cleared to play, so it just depends on when he wants to step on the court. If you remember, his ACL injury did come against the Warriors, so maybe it's a little mental stuff. I don't know. I think he's getting close. But I think that Jokic is going to be the reason why they win tonight. And I know you don't like him tonight, points wise. But we'll get into that in a little bit. I don't think he needs to do it points wise. I think if he gets good 3-point shooting around him, they win this game. And I think they do that tonight. I think they tie the series up at 1.
That sounds like Derrick Rose with the Bulls. Remember when there were reports like after his horrific injury, the Bulls were like, "We've cleared him. He's practicing. He's just not playing." That sounds like what's happening right here with Murray. They're done. We'll see him next season. They're not.
Wow,
they're not gonna be
you're shutting Jamal Murray down. That's the most obscene thing I've ever heard, Johnny.
It's over. It's over for Jamal.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you like prop wise, Johnny?
I got one cutthroat killer in Steph Curry going off 20.5 points. What is that? He'll have that in the first half. He's going off tonight. Is their arena still called Oracle? I feel like it's
no, it's not.
No, they got a new arena.
It's Chase Center.
Yeah, Chase Center. That's stupid. Regardless of where he's playing, if he's playing at Chase, if he's playing down the street, Maricopa, little rec center, he's going off.
Maricopa definitely has double rims. There's no way he's putting up 30 there.
And then Joker, where are you at, brother? 28.5 points, false under, hard under. I could see him having one of his most inefficient shooting nights
of
the postseason.
I love him tonight. I love
Klay Thompson locks his ass down. He may not even reach
20
points tonight.
Klay Thompson's going to be guarding Jokic?
No, it's not. He's not going to be guarding Jokic. But Jokic is going to get trashed tonight. Under 20 points.
You want to make a side bet on this, Johnny?
Yeah, that's fine. I've won the last how many side bets we've had?
Yeah, you won the last one. I already owe you a blooming onion, but you never come down here because you don't like us, so I can't buy you it. And I'm not driving all the way out to Maricopa, so maybe we can meet each other halfway. I'll get you that blooming onion. But Johnny, do you have anything you want to put up on the table for this bet?
Okay, so he's got to get under 28.5, right?
Yeah,
that's the under. Why couldn't Klay just get down there, guard him a little feisty style? I don't know. I feel like we'll double down the Bloomins. That's fine with me. We'll go double down
Bloomin,
the Bloomins.
or you owe me a Bloomin. How's that sound?
Well, yeah, but then they would just cancel out the prior one. So you either owe me 2 or you owe me none.
Okay.
And then we'll just share one together.
Okay, sounds good. Sure.
There
we go. We're shaking on it. Well, do you hear that?
No.
A new foe has appeared. A new challenger has appeared. Who's this? It's Bojan Bogdanovic. He's joining the points, rebounds, and assists club tonight. First time ever on the show. Welcome, Bojan. I got 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists. This is really low to me. I mean, he doesn't distribute well, or he's okay, but that's not his main thing. And he's not a huge rebounder. He's a scorer. The man has been really good lately. And I think he might get here with just his points, but getting that extra cushion with rebounds and assists, that's why my man is joining the club. I'm excited for him. I'm excited to welcome Bojan Bogdanovic. I almost typed Bogdan. It's so mean that they can have two of them, two B.O. Bogdanoviches. It doesn't really make sense. But he had 26 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists last game. I don't know why this is still so low. I'm all over this. This is one of my favorite picks. And then that's not supposed to be his under for points. That's supposed to be his over. But yeah, I'm taking Jokic's over his point total, obviously, as I said. So we're just going against each other today, Johnny.
I don't play many video games, but my son plays Super Smash Brothers, so I absolutely understood that reference.
Good.
That might be some of your best work to date here at PHNX, as well as the phenomenal job. I don't know if anybody's seen it or not. Check out Go PHNX, PHNX Sports on Twitter. Shano and my man Espo put together a tremendous pre-hype video for the Suns playoff run. Some of your best work. I said it in the tweet. I'll say it here now. I hate how bloody talented you are. Just makes me want to punch your dumb face. All right. I want to remind everybody PHNX Cardinals Live is live today at 4 p.m. as we gear up for the final days ahead of the 2022 NFL Draft. We will be live at the Ainsworth Hotel. It's not a hotel. I'm told it's a restaurant. April 28th, downtown Phoenix. And we've got preparation out the ass. I'm putting together a story. It's going to be up on the website later this afternoon. Why the defensive tackle, the position defensive tackle, remains the white whale for the Arizona Cardinals. You can subscribe, become a member at gophnx.com. Read that article and more. 50 cents for the first month, $8.99 for the subsequent months, or you can buy and get a free T-shirt. Just under $60 for the entire year and get all the quality and content goodness that comes with it at gophnx.com.
It's funny to think that I'm not even thinking that you have an earpiece in and like somebody's telling you that it's an Ainsworth hotel. I'm thinking there's like a little man in your head that's like, no, it's not a hotel, John. You're like, I'm being told that it's not a hotel.
Here's what's happened. Somebody called it a hotel. I did not come up with
You
that.
did.
No, because
you did like a week ago.
The show has I've been calling it a hotel for like 2-3 months. And on Friday's show, Cardinal show, we had Bird Gang Travel in the chat, and they said, and they texted me, they're like, Johnny, it's a restaurant, it's not a hotel. That's the first time I'd heard, and then I drove by it this weekend, and I'm like, I guess it could be a hotel like up above, and then there could be a restaurant down below. But the Ainsworth restaurant
last week on our show, and I corrected you, and then you did it again on Cardinals.
Tells you I was definitely not listening to you when that happened.
Thanks for tuning in. As always,
come check out the Ainsworth Hotel, everybody.
You can follow me on Twitter at Shane Deep. You can follow Johnny on Twitter at Johnny Venerable. You can follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. We're here every Monday through Friday at noon right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a 5-star review. Listen to us on audio when you're going for a walk and you want to multitask and play some bets as well. Be here tomorrow. Peace, love, and PRA.